Yes, sir. Heavy Live with Scoop B. I am Brandon Scoop B Robinson. Welcome to another edition of the show. It is World Series time. So rather than the typical basketball, football, and entertainment guest, I figured I would try something a little different. Carl Crawford, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate you guys.
So for those who are tardy to the party, Carl Crawford has the distinction of having played for both the Rays and the Dodgers.
Yep.
$1 million question. Who's winning the chip, sir?
Man, I mean, I don't know. If I was to pick one to say, I don't know. I like both of those organizations, you know what I'm saying? But I guess, the Rays drafted me and raised me pretty much. So it would be nice to see those guys win a world championship there in Tampa Bay. I don't know if the fans are still like they were, but, that little city was always fun for me. Raised me pretty much.
They raised you for sure. You were a 1999 Major League Baseball draftee. You were a second-round pick, 52nd overall. You played for the Sox. You played for the Dodgers. You played for a multitude of teams, but you said that the Rays will always be home. I'm curious to know, just from your perspective, you looked at basketball with the bubble, from the perspective of just safety and fans. What do you make of the playoffs?
I mean, they did what they have to do because of what's going on with the coronavirus. But playing with no fans, that's a real big factor. But I know I had to take like a lot of stuff where they had to take a lot of testings and keep social distancing around, and too many family members couldn't come at one time. So I know it was a big obstacle for guys this year, and it was just had to be totally different because that's something that's never happened before. So from what I'm hearing, for players to have to go through all that and still make it to a World Series or a championship, that was a really tough year for everybody. But it can't be like when it's fans there, getting on you and doing all that kind of stuff. So I guess that was the difference.
Yeah, I remember your last name said Jamal Crawford. I had him on my podcast, Scoopy Radio. And one of the things that we talked about was for the NBA bubble. He talked about how he felt like it was a big, like the bubble would be like an AAU tournament. Him playing for Brooklyn, he would know they were 7th seed in the NBA. For baseball comparatively, like how difficult is it from your perspective with playing with limited fans, some fans, or no fans? Like, does that momentum really count the same as basketball and football?
I was trying to figure it out because, I'm retired, so I'm not out there. But the only thing I can imagine is if it felt like spring training or instructional league game or something like that, where there's no fans out there. And you have to, sometimes you might have a B game on the backfield where there's nobody and you can just hear one person yelling. So, a lot of times it's hard to get up for those games. But I'm pretty sure after doing it for so long, they got used to it. And, I'm pretty sure it's a couple of players that didn't mind playing with no fans, yelling at them and telling them stuff like that all the time. So, I guess it was a give, but I'm pretty sure all the players wish they could play in front of the fans because it definitely gets you going and gives you that extra oomph when you need it.
Nah, man, you would imagine. I would imagine that the fans and having the ability to have people cheering you on is great. I would imagine that where the World Series is, there may be an advantage of more Dodger fans than Rays fans.
Yeah, where is it?
Is it in the same? What you said?
Did they pick a location? Because I didn't know, if they was playing at the home teams or the stadium, did they pick a location for it yet?
Well, Google is your friend. So while I'm talking to you, I am Googling that. It's in Texas, actually. It's in Texas.
Oh,
so it's in your neck of the woods.
That's right. Texas. Yep. I did hear that. I just forgot. Yep.
Yeah. Nah, man. It's going to be very interesting to see. Arlington, Texas. So where the Texas Rangers play.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, should be a lot of home runs. Should be a lot of home runs this World Series. Balls flies out there.
What do you remember about playing on that Rays World Series team in 2008?
Oh, I just remember we was just all young and full of energy, athletic. You had Joe Madden as our manager who came and made us believe that possible. He really inserted that, win and positive energy, and came up with different slogans, changed the culture of the clubhouse to where, it became more about, just having a good time and relaxing. And he had this rule where, be mad for like 15 minutes after a game, and then after that, just let it all wash away. So stuff like that just kind of played into our youthful spirit that we had. We had young pitchers, young players, and we just wasn't intimidated by much. And it just kind of started from spring training and kept going all the way through the playoffs.
You're a young man. You're
Mm-hmm.
39, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
When I look at the ability in baseball, like I look at a Cecil Fielder or some of the other guys that played through their 40s, do you think that if injuries wasn't a thing for you, like if you hadn't got hurt, do you
Right.
still be playing now?
Yeah, pretty much. Once you get to like I was a runner, so our clock is a little shorter than most people's. And then I played on turf for 9 years, so I just couldn't move like I wanted to anymore. But definitely, you can keep your body in shape. Ricky Henderson played for a long time. He was the guy that I looked up to when I played. So I wanted to play for a long time, but after a while, I just kept getting hurt and got tired of doing the rehab stuff and just called it quits.
Tell me something. Ricky Henderson, I heard some stories about how the per diem that everybody has a Ricky story. You already ready. I heard I heard a story that basically throughout the course of his career, the per diem that he got for the day, the money for food, he saved his money and used that money to pay for one of his kids to go to college.
Yeah, for the story I heard was that he used to, I guess when they did good grades, because they give us money in a package, and then they like, you know what I'm saying? It'd be different ones. It might be 1,000 in it from this time, depending on how long we're on a road trip for. And when I heard that, I guess when his kids used to do well, he used to just put it in a box and let them figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Pick out one of those packages. And I was like, man, shit, if those kids were smart, they would have been filling for the thick package because, a lot of them have a lot of money in them sometimes. So
What was oh, I'm sorry, you were still talking.
no, that's cool.
No, I was gonna say, what was your relationship like with Ricky? When did you first meet him? You said he was an influence. Did you actually meet him, and what was your
Yeah,
relationship?
you always see him in passing. You know what I'm saying? And Ricky refers to his name in the third person. I don't know if you heard about that.
Ricky B. Ricky.
Ricky, it is about it. It's just that I was a fast guy. He was a fast guy, but he played in the era where they kicked their leg up so high. So he got 100 stolen bases in the season. So that'll be the argument right there. Like man, they slide step now, bro. If they was doing this, why? If they was kicking their legs up this high while I was playing, I'd have had 150 bags in the year.
Hmm.
You know, we can't. It's everybody time.
You were Major League Baseball's stolen base leader 4 times.
Right.
What was in your Wheaties?
My Wheaties?
Yeah, what was in your
Nah,
Wheaties?
water in my milk in my Wheaties. But nah, man. I just once I got to the league, I realized that that's was gonna be one of the ways I stayed there by showing off my speed at all times. So I worked on it, made sure I kept it, and learned the technique of stealing bases. And shit, man, just wanted to win something every year. You want to win. If you got a chance to win a major column in any type of major sport, you're gonna go after it.
You are a stylish guy. Number one, you're shining in these streets. I see that piece right there, sir.
Yeah, man.
I'm curious to know. Playing in New England, playing for the Red Sox.
Mm,
Um, Cam Newton is
mm,
in a similar situation. He's shining. He's eccentric. He has the ability to stand out. Boston is not always the easiest crowd, in my opinion, to be an individual. For somebody
right.
like Cam, or for Cam Newton specifically, how do you think he wins over Boston or New England fans at large?
That's easy. You just gotta win and perform. You know what I'm saying? Just that's what they like. They are a passionate team. They are passionate about their sports. You know what I'm saying? And I tell half of these guys down here all the time, y'all got it easy down here in Texas because on the East Coast, just sports different. But pretty much, he looks like he's doing the right thing for us, like, team wise and getting wins and playing great. I don't know how he is inside the clubhouse or inside his locker room, but from what we see so far, it looks good. That's all he got to do. Continue to do that, win those people over, and once you win them over, it's all good.
We talked about fans. Was it difficult playing at Fenway?
You went out. You say, was it what?
So we talked about fans in the stands as it related to baseball, and you having played for the Red Sox. Was it difficult to play at Fenway?
Fenway was tough playing against them, man. You know that it's just a tough crowd, man. That's all it is, man. It's just they are extremely passionate. You can't blame them for wanting their team to win, and you just have to be able to rise up to that occasion. If not, they're gonna let you hear about it. And that's just the way it is.
Help me debunk a myth, excuse me. Your Red Sox team was known for eating chicken wings and drinking.
You bringing that back? Yeah, man. That was. I guess that's what happened. That was the pictures. Remember? You know what I'm saying? But locker room. They had locker room. Before they started like the meal stuff or whatever. They all do now. Pretty much can eat whatever you want into the clubhouse. I think it was Popeyes right around the corner from Fenway or something like that. So, might have been the deal. Who knows, man? They had all kind of good food. That's what the clubhouse do. They always have all kind of good food to eat.
So when I look at the last 15, 20 years of sports, particularly basketball, I remember the Boston Celtics when they would come to Brooklyn and play the Nets. So we're talking like 2012. They would have this whole spread of like organic peanut butter and jelly, just sitting there waiting for guys. Like I feel like the peanut butter and jelly for basketball players, it gives you the energy, but it's sweet enough. And NBA guys like to take naps. From your perspective, has that aesthetic carried over to Major League Baseball in the same way?
Yeah. Well, I think like once I was, leaving out, the health thing was becoming a real big deal to where, they already cut a lot of stuff out where you couldn't eat. I think the GMs and stuff get the chefs and they give them what they want them to serve and stuff like that. And I'm pretty sure they're real healthy right now, but right towards the end, they was transitioning into that. And, all the organic stuff, people showing you how to eat, trainers, and really mixing that in. I know with the Dodgers, they do a great job of all that stuff, having a nutritionist there to, kind of go with you day to day and what to do, certain pills you might take or, stuff like that.
So we're leaving chicken wings and beer, going into the more healthy portions of that. I'm curious to know, when you get today's athlete in baseball, do you think that when you look at, I guess, maybe even African-American athletes, what needs to be done to get more players that look like you or I playing the game? Is it that baseball or basketball is cheaper? What is it?
Man, that's been like the $1 million question every year. I just think they need to see more faces like us, even from when I first started playing, like you say, I lead led the league in stolen bases in a major category for 4 years straight. People you can walk anywhere and they just don't know you. They don't see your face. They don't have nobody to look up to and say, I want to be like him. How many people can see Mookie Betts walking in somewhere? Man, you know who he is. He can walk into the store right here, man. They gonna walk right by him. Nobody gonna know who he is. And it's just like, man, that's just baseball for you. So I don't know. I just think that they should just, try to play it. Every athlete, if you can play football, play baseball. You know what I'm saying? And you don't have to specialize in one, even though I know a lot of coaches are making kids do that. But, pretty much if you loved it as a kid, there's no reason why you shouldn't love it in high school or anything like that. And just keep playing and see where it takes you to.
You from Houston. You played for the Dodgers.
Yeah.
So, earlier this year, when we were still all outside, I talked to Magic Johnson about the Houston Astros cheating scandal. And one of the things he said, was him being, a partial owner. He said, one thing for me that's hard for an athlete. I just want a level playing field. He said, when I played against the Bulls, same rules Michael Jordan had, and I think for the Dodgers, I want the same thing. We just want a level playing field. We didn't get that. So I was really disappointed, not because I'm the owner, but I was disappointed for my players. So he went on and on and on. He said, because they deserve everything needed to be equal. Because not only are you an expert on the Rays and the Dodgers, you're also a Houstonian and you play for the Dodgers yourself. Was that a difficult juxtaposition for you to see what was going on because of your relationship with both sides?
Yeah, I'm from Houston, so you always root for the Houston teams, and then you always have to be, the integrity of the game is always at stake. So when I saw the cheating scandal and I said they proved it, I was like, oh man, this might rank up there with the Black Sox or someone that, there was no fans this year, so you couldn't really see. Because I think they would have got booed in every city this year, But but it's unfortunate that they got caught doing it. I was hoping that they win again this year, so there wouldn't be no excuses for them or whatever, because that's what you have to do, win again. But it's a stain that's going to be there. It's never going to go away. And they just going to have to figure out a way to move on and, try to win another one without that scandal. But definitely it's a black eye on their organization, and I'm just sad that it's my hometown that got it.
Do you think that if the Dodgers win the World Series this year, that makes everything right with the world versus last year?
I mean, I guess the Dodgers been trying to win for a while, So, I guess winning is always redemption for people or whatnot. But just have to see them. Tampa look scrappy, so I hope they can beat them.
Birdie tells me that there's something in the water, something in your family blood, because your cousin J.P. Crawford is doing his thing in Major League Baseball. How cool is it to make that a family affair and to have a sibling or a family member at large to I guess represent the family last name?
Baseball love bloodlines. That's why they love it, from the Ripkins to the Griffiths to the everybody. They love that storyline. So it's cool to have that. Not only him, my son is in the 11th grade and he's like the number one prospect state of Nevada, so he'll be there soon. I'm trying to have like a family reunion at the All-Star game about 10 years from now. So so it's cool. They love the bloodlines. They people eat it up when it's family members in the game, more than one. You look at the Seager brothers out there, and for the Dodgers and his brother, they hit home runs against each other one game. It's just cool to see that type of stuff. So I'm definitely trying. I got 3 boys. I plan to get all of them to the big leagues, and 2 nephews.
It's a packed house.
Huh?
One thing that I find interesting about your portfolio is, just in doing my research, you're producing. If I'm not mistaken, is it your Certified Entertainment is your record label?
1 certified, yeah. You know what I'm saying? We when I retired, I decided to get into the music industry. We did real well. We produced the mega star, Megan Thee Stallion. I don't know if you ever heard of her, but yeah, we did that.
Yes, sir. I heard something about that. Yeah, but what you say?
I said, yeah, we produced the star right out of the gate. So it was like, wow, they couldn't believe like something like that happened so fast. But now we producing other artists, and the company is just, I had to make a transition from baseball to something else. I know I retired pretty young, so I knew I wasn't done working, things like that. So just wanted to do something that I thought would be cool and that I probably was passionate behind, and jumped into it head first.
What from playing sports carried over in retirement to producing?
I think it was majorly the work ethic. That's why I got here. That's why we produced a star so fast. It was just, I took the same approach to where, first person at the field, last person to leave, hard working, applying myself, learning everything I could, a guy, for instance, like a guy that I knew the business. I didn't want him to. I didn't want him to have to call him and ask him questions every day. So I moved him in my house so I can speed and learn the process. So I've always been a quick learner. That's what my coaches, any coach will tell you about that. Quick learner and know how to apply things quickly. So I just treated it the same way as I would approach, a season or something like that.
What do you feel like the fact that you played professional sports, it gave you a leg up in getting such success early on? Like people took you more seriously because you're an athlete?
Oh no, it's the opposite actually. You know what I'm saying? The only thing that helps you out is the money that you made from playing sports. You're able to spend on things that they're gonna probably double and triple charge you for because you're an athlete. So and then you gotta come around and then you gotta get past the people that don't want nothing good for you and they just want to take things from you and tell you that they can do things like so. There's a lot of stuff you gotta weed and swindle through to get to where you're trying to go. But if you're really trying to do it, you will get through it.
I noticed just in checking out your social media, E40 follows both you and myself.
Yeah.
Have you gotten a chance to work with him, and who are some musicians and athletes that you respect in the business, and you've taken some of what they've gotten and put it into your own body of work?
Athletes, really none. I can't say I really copy too many athletes for as far as the music because every time they get into the music, they want to like rap themselves or something like that. You see, so me, I took more of the executive approach. I've never met E40, but I've been jamming him since 7th grade around Houston. He's locked in with a guy named Mean Green that everybody knows here in Houston. So E40's been on our radar. I just never met him, but I would like to meet him. And far as me watching, I never know athletes because I just know they all fail. You know what I'm saying? So when I got my advice from like Lil J, the people around here, the guy that was helping me. I asked people who had actually done it. You know what I'm saying? And had success doing it, and kind of tried to put my blueprint from there. We had a lot to look at, being from the South and like the Cash Money, the Rapper Lots, the No Limits. So that's kind of like the blueprint I was coming after.
You mentioned Megan Thee Stallion. I kind of took my time because I actually do care about your process and how you transition to baseball. But I'm curious to know from your perspective, are you happy for her success, despite the fact that you guys parted ways?
Well, I mean, the media make it look like we parted ways, but we still in heavy talk. You know what I'm saying? We still in contracted together. So, of course, we want her to do well. We don't want her to do bad. It's not going to benefit us if she does bad, So, we want her to do well. We just want her to honor her contract. That's the whole big deal about this situation. They didn't want to honor her contract, or they wanted to switch a few things, but they never, would talk with me about it. They just, sent the lawyers to me and all that stuff. So, they really, it was just one of those deals to where things kind of went left, and it's just unfortunate.
Do you hope or do you think that there will be a resolution?
Oh yeah, it'll be a resolution, like far as like trying to get the contract renegotiated or whatever, not like that. You know what I'm saying? We'll definitely handle the business part, but just as far as the personal stuff, I don't really know about that. What's that? It's simple. Okay, yeah. So yeah, yeah. I mean, the business part is what we're working on, so we'll definitely take care of that part. I mean, hopefully soon.
No, that's real because I fairly and respectfully, it gets lost in translation. Big Star put out hits, Rock Nation, and then it kind of gets lost in the sauce, and you don't always hear everybody's point of view. So it's important to hear other people's point of view and what they bring to the table.
Yeah, so yeah, that's pretty much it. Like I said, we did that situation. That'll take care of stuff at some point. We just everybody move on. That's the best for everybody in my mind.
So in basketball, they talk about I said Lakers in 6 over the Heat. I guess your prediction in baseball. Do you look at it from a perspective of Dodgers or Rays? How many games? What do you think is going to happen?
I don't know. It's just so unpredictable. I mean, you would think that the Dodgers would win. They got all the firepower, but you just never know with some scrappy Rays, you know. But I don't know. I think it'll go about 6 games. I say the Dodgers in 6.
Dodgers in 6.
Yeah.
Baseball.
Yeah.
Baseball is your life. Baseball has given you the ability to do other things, to connect with people. Is there any chance later in the future, after you've had many hits and things, that you would go into managing?
Managing playing baseball or managing baseball?
Major League Baseball.
Man, I don't know. That's a tough one. I see some of my teammates already managing, like Cash. He was my teammate. He's the manager for the Rays right now. I see Rocco Baldelli. He's managing the Twins, I think. So, I mean, you know, I thought about it, but I really, you know, going back out on that baseball field, I'm working in the AC now. You know what I'm saying? I worked in the sun for 20 years. So, I don't know. But I do have 3 sons that I got to coach and watch. So, you know, maybe once I like, maybe they'll get me going with it, and maybe I might want to do it one day. But right now, I'm concentrating on the music business.
Last question. Houston is home for you. The Rockets still have a head coaching vacancy. Who do you like?
Oh, I like a lot of people. I mean, for me, I'd rather get like a Mark Jackson, Kenny Schmidt. You know what I'm saying? One of those 2 guys. I mean, they look.
Hey, Carl, the sound went out for the sound went out for a second. I think you're on your phone and you got a call. So you said you want Mark Jackson or Kenny Smith, correct?
Mark Jackson and Kenny Smith. That's who I'd take.
I would like to see Mark Jackson. I think Mark Jackson has been blackballed.
Yeah, why is he blackballed? What did he do?
It didn't work out in Golden State. It didn't work out in Golden State,
I mean,
and
but he
then
got him right though. He the one who got him to that level though, right?
he did.
And they took him right after this. So I just want to see what he can do. You know what I'm saying? You know, we got to get a big man too here in Houston, man. So I don't know. We got to make a whole lot of changes with our team. It just ain't the coach. You know, we done been using this one recipe for the longest. So we need to just try to shake everything up. If you ask me.
It's gonna be interesting, brother. Dodgers is your prediction, and we're gonna hold you to that.